streaming. Don't look at the. Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, so you don't have to. I've got some stunning news today. Amazing. Miyazaki-san himself, by accident, sent me an early access copy. I don't believe there's sound. I do not believe there is any sound. Let me stop this stream and start it again. Hello. Hello. Allow me to restate my intro. Hello. I'm the Nostalgia Critic. Now, there is sound. Sound exists. Do not look at the deceiving. Do not pay attention. Pay no heed to the deceiving logo type you see on your screen right now. This is, in fact, a leaked beta copy of the new continuation reboot of the old franchise by From Software called Armored Core 6. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, really. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day inside. Now, at the beginning of this game, Armored Core 6, that's been accidentally leaked, sent to me in a secret, exclusive press release by Miyazaki-san himself. This is what you see in this game. You begin by designing the initial state of your mech, of your state-of-the-art technology Armored Core unit, unique in its design. You can choose sex of the mech. This is one of the innovations that's been introduced in the new generation of Armored Core units. Of the 6th generation is gender. I prefer the female gender as it is a more agile and versatile mech. Now, class. This is the type of armor your Armored Core unit begins with. Pretty simple if you ask me. Type of armor and ammunition and weaponry you are equipped with as a mercenary at the beginning of the game. Now, I prefer a heavily armored core unit, as the name of the game suggests. Armor is the name of the game, meaning the more armor you have, the easier it is to win. So, this is what we're gonna do. Binoculars, absolutely crucial piece of equipment when it comes to Armored Core combat. Undeniably, seeing the enemy is the first step to destroying the enemy. Bulk determines the amount of health points and sturdiness of our mech. Therefore, I would prefer to choose the largest construction and the bulkiest, very large as possible. Now, the face is purely cosmetic, doesn't determine anything. Thankfully, we've been told, or I personally have been told by Miyazaki-san, that there are no microtransactions in this game, no loot crates, nothing like that. So all the cosmetics are unlockable within the game. You can get different types of faces for your Armored Core unit. It's a beautiful thing, really. Just like the day. Now, I prefer to go with the whitest one, as I feel it represents my inside persona. Dubious, that's exactly what we're looking for. I don't know what this is really. Mechs don't really have hair. I'm not sure what this is. Perhaps it's an early beta bug that they haven't removed yet, an option from an early build of the game. We're going to neglect that, as I'm sure in the final release it will be completely removed. The color, once again, purely cosmetic. As you can see, underdeveloped, doesn't change anything. Now, the name. How are we gonna name our guy? Now, for the sake of brevity and clarity, we're going to call it AC, Unit 6. And AC does not, I bear in mind, please pay attention to the fact that AC does not stand for air conditioning in any capacity. No air conditioning is required when you run an Armored Core unit, because it's so cool on its own. Now, AC, of course, stands for Armored Core. Now let's begin.
In the age of ancients.
This opening cinematic mirrors the promotional cinematic that's been revealed at the Game Awards recently. As you can see, the ashen landscape, the remains of this planet, engulfed previously by flames. Don't listen to the grandma. Don't listen to the grandma. I have the press release, she does not. Now, these creatures used to roam this planet, but they've been destroyed by this secret spice melange element of fire. As you can see in those sparks echoing once again the press release trailer, the fucking Game Awards trailer. It's all connected. Now you can see the red flame from the trailer as well, engulfing the planet. This is a very story-driven game. It has a backbone of plot. However, for the sake of your personal experience when the game finally comes out, I would skip the first cinematic. I will skip it in order to not spoil anything. After all, I'm only here to show off some gameplay. Now, as you can see, my Armored Core unit is heavily armored, as the name would suggest. And that's what I like about this particular play style of gaming, because it actually involves a lot of rolling. And I prefer rolling to not rolling. That's my personal preference. However, there are many types of gameplay in this game available. I feel like my mech unit, my mechanized combat unit, is somewhat sluggish. The movement has been impaired. I presume this is to instill a sense of progression throughout the game, as your mercenary bank account is bolstered by currency from a foreign world. You may upgrade your mech capacity for warfare, such as agility, firepower, armor, etc. I am told behind these gates we encountered the first enemy Armored Core unit. Mechanized warfare ensues here. This is the beginning, the precipice, some would call it. I myself call it. I haven't developed an opinion on this fight yet, as it is extraordinarily easy. All you have to do to defeat this fight is upgrade your boosters in order to escape, and then the boss simply is conquered on its own. You don't even have to engage in mechanized warfare combat, which I've started to think that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the game, as it is called Armored Core. I would believe it should be centered around mechanized warfare. But in this instance, we are welcome to avoid conflict and play the peaceful card and remain neutral. Now, the first weapon we encounter is a melee weapon, in fact, a broadsword. Now, this proves the leakers' information that we've been given several months ago, that this game is in fact going to be a Souls-like. So for all the fans, for all the previous action games done by From Software, you may rejoice. It is indeed a Souls-like, even though it is centered around mechanized combat, and there is a large amount of long-range combat in this game. They like to ease us into the new world, the new franchise, to most of us From Software fans, with a very familiar melee type of build, as you might call it. Builds are a core part. Different types of builds are a core part of gameplay in this Armored Core 6 game that I very much enjoy. This is the enemy. As you can see, this guy had a similar layout of his mecha unit. It stood no chance against my skill that I've been able to develop in the last 30 minutes playing this game. I did dabble a little bit before starting to stream, just to make sure that I got the right game. You know what I'm saying? These leaked secret press releases do not tend to be accurate. Sometimes things may be confusing and wrong, so I had to make sure, and I developed a significant amount of skill in that short period of time with this game. I believe as the game releases, I will be one of the best in the world in terms of mechanized combat. As you can see, these armorless cores stood no chance, as the name of the game suggests. It's armor or no win, baby. Now here we encounter the first long-range mechanized warfare example. Now this particular armored core unit is carrying no armor capabilities whatsoever. The only upgrade that's been installed on this unit particularly is the ranged weaponry, and as you can see, it will take me absolutely no effort to dismantle this guy's whole strategy and absolutely destroy them, as they have no armor in this Armored Core game that is absolutely detrimental to your playstyle, and you will be destroyed. Now this guy has bolstered his agility stat and has been able to land a hit on my character, on my Armored Core unit. But as my Armored Core unit is heavily armored, as the name of the game would suggest, as you can see, my health bar stylized in a I need some water. I don't have any water. That's okay. I'm powered by oil mostly. There is a teleportation technology installed on my Armored Core unit for advanced agility combat. I had to sacrifice certain agility elements in regular movement to bolster my teleportation agility. It was a type of decision you have to make in this game on a regular basis to improve and optimize your Armored Core unit for mechanized warfare. To get what's it called? To get the special element of victory. Now we may proceed through the gate of Rubicon to get the spice melange extracted from the spice link extraction site, as you may see later in the cutscene. Just give me a moment here to progress through the level. I will skip this cutscene as well for the sake of keeping all the surprises for you gamers for the future. Do not be upset with me. I am only the messenger. Hate the message. Do not hate me. Here I am at the spice melange extraction site in Rubicon. As you can see, this version is still using demonstrational text and has not been replaced. It's reusing assets from older From Software titles. Fret not, however, it, upon release, will have distinct names for all things and a different plot and everything else. Now, in Rubicon, level up and use Spice Melange to increase your combat capabilities of your Armored Core unit. That's the first message the game gives us. We will take it in stride and proceed in style. As you can see, I can commune with the Spice Melange network, which bolsters communication between Armored Core units using this checkpoint location, as I just did right now, which gives me access to Spice Melange upgrades, as of now unavailable to my unit. And with that, I shall proceed. That is so slow, holy crap. I will sacrifice certain elements of my armor, and I am aware that I've been talking big game about how armor is important for victory in mechanized combat for an Armored Core unit. However, certain sacrifices have to be made in intelligent warfare of the next generation, and sometimes the agility and the foresight to gain agility will be the deciding factor in a battle. Therefore, I'm removing a piece of armor from my Armored Core unit, not to weaken my defense, but rather to increase my agility capability. It has not seemed to have improved my agility capability. I would like to change the design of my visor. As you can see, the agility capabilities might be further increased, and with that, the scanning capability of my surrounding environment has been also drastically increased with this upgrade that I've or downgrade, whatever it may be, the customization capability of my Armored Core unit. Now I will engage in mechanized warfare. These core units that bear no resemblance to any type of professional military. I will presume that these are other mercenaries fighting for scraps on Rubicon 6, or whichever number it may be, for scraps of Spice Melange to increase their combat capability of their Armored Core units. However, I will spare them no quarter, as all the Spice Melange must belong to my Armored Core unit in order to increase the combat capabilities of this unit as much as possible. As in the later stages of this game, I will be facing off against organized factions and other militarily capable individuals. Therefore, I must prepare accordingly. As you can see, there are plenty of secrets in this game that will improve your capability for mechanized warfare on your journey. Neglect not any of these. You will need all the help you can get, as the world of Rubicon 6 is unforgiving to newcomers. But we, as I said, are taking it in stride. I am approaching a new type of mechanized unit. However, like the other ones, stood no chance. In the distance you can see the long-range communication device making signals to all the Armored Core units in the area. The communications are encrypted, and therefore our mercenary unit that is not connected properly to the network and is not supplied with proper unencryption codes cannot decipher this message. However, I have been tipped off by Miyazaki-san himself regarding the plot of this game, and I do believe this message has something to do with Rubicon's Spice Melange resource being extracted in a dangerous way at this current moment. Undead Berg. That's a unique name location. Location name. I'm afraid I misspoke. Do not take it personally. People misspeak all the time. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you personally. I hope you understand. Now, as you can see, a properly upgraded armored core unit can take on several under upgraded armored core units in hand-to-hand mechanized combat and succeed. It all comes down to the proper upgrades, the proper layout, the proper approach. I am not, in fact, sure what this is. Miyazaki-san said not much of a later game units, so I presume this is some kind of faction leader, perhaps the Republicans, the part of the Republic of Peoples who inhabit Rubicon 7, the nearest planet to Rubicon 6, also engulfed in flames during the last Spice Melange War that engulfed in flames the entire Rubicon solar system. It was a very violent event that ruptured space-time continuum. And very soon here we'll meet a friendly character that will in fact speak of this space-time rift following the violent events of Rubicon solar system caused by the Spice Melange eruption that lead to the possibility of interdimensional cooperation being described as jolly by this particular individual between friendly mercenaries such as us. You will see that all of that shortly. Let me just plow through some of these under-equipped, under-prepared mechanized units. They didn't know what they were coming for. Rubicon 6, or however many it will be, does not forgive any type of transgression by an unprepared armored core unit. Let us proceed. As you can see, this game involves a much slower and more deliberate type of combat compared to other armored core titles in the series before. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All of them, in fact, had quicker paced combat. Now this is deliberate change in order to increase the similarity to Souls-like titles in the From Software development catalog. And for that purpose, the speed of the combat has been decreased dramatically comparing to other Armored Core titles. As like I said, this is completely deliberate on the part of game design, the game design team at From Software. They took everything into account and came to the conclusion that this would be the optimal speed at which an Armored Core unit should move according to the laws of physics that apply at the Rubicon solar system. Now, as you can see there, my mechanized warfare unit, Armored Core, has run out of green juice. The green juice represents the amount of oil inside of the unit. It's a very important resource. It is not to be neglected. Enemy mechanized units might drop parts of their equipment depending on how thoroughly destroyed they were by you in mechanized combat. Now, there is no option to destroy them less. However, sometimes by sheer chance you may get lucky, and certain parts of these units are spared from your wrath, after which you can gather them, equip them, sell them, exchange them for valuable resources such as the Spice Melange resource that is the core of the conflict of this game. Now let us proceed to the next location to encounter in mechanized combat more Armored Core units. As you can see here, these units wield a specialized armor piece detached from the core itself. It is in fact carried by them in their mechanical arms. It is a strategy known among the mercenaries of Rubicon 6. However, I find it personally drastically less effective than the strategy I am currently employing, which is covering my mechanized unit with as much armor as possible. Because in fact it protects my unit from all possible directions. Now let us make a short detour. Let us make a short detour, if you don't mind. This did not help at all. And engage one of the heavier armored mechanized units in this area of the game, the beginning area. It presents a unique challenge and tests the pilot's foresight to decrease the armor capabilities of the armored core units in order to bolster the maneuverability of the unit, because this particular unit is incredibly vulnerable to agile opponents. Now, in this particular case, I was not able to showcase that vulnerability. However, in this game you get multiple chances, as armored core units are disposable units, and you may, upon ejecting yourself from the pilot's cabin, return to the shipyard where armored core units are assembled. Holy fuck, I used the bonfire, didn't I? I used the goddamn bonfire. I did use it, didn't I? Well, seemingly not. Let us proceed. Now, I would like to exemplify here a different sort of strategy that you may decide to employ upon your first playthrough of the Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon game. This strategy involves enhanced agility capability of the armored core unit by stripping off the armor from the unit. Now notice, if you pay attention, that the agility capability is dramatically increased the instant any sort of armor is removed. Now let me show here how, even though theoretically, as I've been speaking before, this should decrease your capability of mechanized warfare, you may win most encounters in the game by simply avoiding mechanized warfare. Now, this was not the perfect example of such approach. It is, however, realistic. It's very realistic. This is what happens to most unskilled pilots when they decide to engage in that mode of combat. However, we do not back down. In fact, we would like to double down on this particular type of strategy in order to showcase how you may peacefully resolve most of the conflict surrounding the Rubicon 6 spice melange problem by simply avoiding any type of mechanized warfare with your armored core unit, by removing the armor, increasing the agility capability, simply avoiding the enemy's attacks. Now, we've been successful so far. Let us proceed to the previous location of my demise and test out this new strategy on the heavily armored core unit that we've encountered before. I believe my controller ran out of charge. That is in fact unfortunate, as an armored core unit can solely be controlled by a controller device. As you can see here, it's a special controller device included in the package for 70 yen upon the purchase of the Armored Core 6 game Fires of Rubicon. You will in fact in the package receive a specialized controller designed by From Software's CEO Hidetaka Miyazaki himself for optimized control of your armored core unit. It's a simple controller device. I wish not to go in depths on the capabilities of this controlling device. I may not dodge this. This was a spice melange attack employed by this particular individual against me. I may not, and any type of armored core unit is incapable of dodging that type of attack. And I'm in no way invulnerable to it. Now here, as you can see, we're at the precipice, as we usually are, as a brave mercenary usually is at the precipice of any type of discovery. We find ourselves at the precipice of this bridge, slaying armored units in our way. May I fucking go faster? Thank you. I did increase the agility for a reason, right? This is the reason. This heavy unit. I believe this is an armored core carrier. Advanced flagship type. It requires several pilots to pilot all of its limbs separately. However, by employing the advanced agility capability strategy, we are going to be able to reduce its advantage of size to a minimum and proceed with winning. This is really laggy. It is a beta after all, a leaked beta, so do not worry, the real game will not be like that. It will be very optimized for my personal computer device. Now allow me to escape and drink a potion made of spice melange purely. Now I was not able to showcase any type of finesse in this combat, as I'm still new to this game. It is a closed beta. Not many people have been able to perfect their skills. However, I may tell you this. I will tell you this, and you better listen. If you increase your personal capabilities as a warrior using this controller device, specially designed for with and by the Hidetaka Miyazaki's genius, you will be able to tackle any type of problem in this Rubicon 6 unforgiving world of mechanized warfare. I was not laughing at the game there. I was laughing at my personal wit. Do not take my jokes as any type of description of the quality of this game. Let the game speak for itself. Do not mind me. Pay no heed to any type of comedic things that expulge from my mouth hole. 'Tis only a matter of a human condition. This game, however, transcends the human condition, as it is about mechanized warfare. A mechanized warfare battlefield has not much in common with the human condition. Humans should stay off the mechanized warfare combat battlefield. It is not a Homo sapien domain. It is the domain of armored core units, however, such as us in this game. Now here we may encounter a friendly, or is he? Perhaps docile, idling, mechanized warfare unit, armored core unit guy. He does showcase heavy armored capabilities on his armored core unit, and by that token I might choose to not engage in combat at this particular instance of time on the Rubicon 6 planet. I in fact will retreat and will continue to explore my immediate surroundings in order to gather any type of equipment, materials that will help me on my way to free this planet from the oppressive regime of the military. Now, as you can see, many supplies can be found on the surface of the planet. It's a rich planet, rich with material. So pay attention to every nook and cranny. Stick your nose everywhere. Your mechanized warfare nose, as it is designed specifically for sticking in tight spaces. So use it appropriately. Fret not. There are no insects that a mechanized warfare unit such as us fears in such nooks and crannies. Nothing can bite you on your advanced mechanized nose. We are approaching a chest, a certain mechanized chest containing spice melange remnants, which we might collect. These are the second generation advanced combat, Ace Combat, holy shit, that's another game. Ace Combat, wait, what is it? Armored Core, exactly. Forgive my memory loss. I am amnesiac at certain instances of high stress, and this combat is quite intense, so I'm stressed. Now, this is the second generation Armored Core unit that bears an exoskeleton of a kind. Unique exoskeleton that bolsters the armored capabilities of the Armored Core unit without sacrificing the armor capabilities of the Armored Core unit. It is a unique high-level upgrade on your Armored Core unit, which is inaccessible to our particular mercenary at this given time. So we shall avoid these enemies as well, as they are much more capable in mechanized warfare compared to us. Now, out of respect to Hidetaka Miyazaki, the chef, the boss, the hero, the god of the corporation entitled From Software, I shall not leak any more footage from this game. However extensive this beta might be, I will keep it to myself, enjoy the game, and tell you in a Reddit post what it all looked like in very, very, very uninspired adjectives, verbs, and nouns. The most cliche possible. The rest of the game is mine to keep. I will not be posting it on YouTube anymore. This is only a teaser. All I want is for the franchise to be successful. I want to bolster the hype around the franchise after the recent announcement at the Game Awards. So here is my contribution to From Software promotional strategy, which has been historically gamer-based, fan-base-based, as you can remember, in the days of the Elden Ring hollowing event, when no information about Elden Ring has been released publicly by Hidetaka Miyazaki, the god, the man, the person, the individual, and the plural many quantity of the peoples of the company of From Software. The people that carried the banner of Elden Ring, the spanner, the banner, the flag, the emblem of Elden Ring, they carried it on their backs, and those were the fans, the Glaive Master Hodir appreciators. They did everything they could to keep the hype. Now I am taking on that role and leaking this small portion of the gameplay for you, my fellow From Software fans, to be excited about the new Armored Core 6 release, franchise continuation of the Armored Core franchise by From Software. I do hope you will enjoy this franchise, and I do hope I will not be sued by Hidetaka Miyazaki himself. I hope you will understand my purpose in this marketing endeavor of theirs. I do play an important purpose in this marketing endeavor. I hope anyone that sees this video can recognize my purpose, can recognize the brevity of the gameplay showcase that I've done here. Purposefully cut short to maintain the necessary level of secrecy in a new exciting title like Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. I do take credit for that decision, and that decision was not made lightly. I thought long and hard, and I came to a conclusion that this is the only fair decision to the developer. Therefore, I will stop this video here. This is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you on the battlefield of mechanized warfare of Rubicon 6, fire, ashen, ridden wasteland of a planet, squirming in pain, waiting to express all of the built-up spice melange onto the core of the planet, waiting to be gathered, extracted by the mercenaries and military corporations alike. I will see you there, and I will see you then. Thank you very much for watching.